Hi everybody and welcome back to Tales of Wanderlust. I'm Cass, this is Jasper. Napoleon is kind of taking the lazy route this morning, but we wanted to welcome you back to our channel, and today we're going to go through which model Basecamp I have. I get asked a lot about if it's the 16 or the 16X. It's kind of a combination of the both. So we're going to go through the pros and cons of each of the upgrades and give you all that information. All right, so which Basecamp do I have? Technically, I have the Basecamp 16. It's a 2018 model. Back in 2018, they only sold the Basecamp 16 with no X package. There really weren't any options at that point. So in 2019, I believe it was, they came out with the X package, which added on some new off-roading features. You can have that package added on to any of your Basecamp models. It does cost several $1,000s, so you got to make sure it's definitely worth it for you. You can also piecemeal those additions. So that's what I ended up doing. I didn't need everything, but there were some that I wanted. So we'll go through what those things are today, and we're going to start up here with the windows. Gosh, there's no oxygen up at this area. I am out of breath from just talking. So I'm in Salida, Colorado right now. It's early morning, so the sun is pretty low still, but you'll see the absolutely gorgeous mountains behind me, if I can find them in the camera. There they are. And it's at, I think, about 9,000 or 10,000 feet elevation. I just came back from a road trip across the country to New York and Pennsylvania, so I'm not quite used to this elevation right now, so I might be huffing and puffing a bit during this video, trying to catch my breath, but I promise we'll survive. We'll make it through. So back to the Basecamp. Biggest thing you're going to notice between the base model and the X model are the front window guards and then the stainless rock guards. I did opt for the solar window guards, which are these panels up front. With having the front windows, there have been instances where I've seen people, unfortunately, without these window guards that had a rock kick up when they were driving and completely smash one of these windows. The Basecamp windows are curved, they're very custom, they're not easy to get. So if you get a smashed window, it's going to take a while to get a replacement and have it installed. It's also not the cheapest thing to fix. So I opted for these window guards since we do a lot of boondocking. I really wanted to make sure that we had that protection on the window. Also living full time, I can't be without my Basecamp for several months waiting for a window repair. So these were extremely important to me. I do not have the stainless guards, as you can see. The base model comes with a 3M material, so it does have a protection, but it doesn't have the stainless rock guards here. The reason I opted for not having them is they're about an extra 35 pounds. The Basecamp already has a pretty heavy tongue weight, and my Toyota 4Runner, which is my tow vehicle, can only have 500 pounds on the hitch weight. So since the Basecamp is already around 400, 450, I didn't want to add on that extra weight for the 4Runner. Also, I've had rocks kick up, I've had them hit this. It's really not too bad in terms of what the damage is. You'll just see there's a lot of bugs and dirt, and it's really, the aluminum is still fine. So in the end, even after a year of having these upgrades attached, I'm really happy I did not get the stainless guards. That was definitely something that I'm glad I didn't do. Window guards, let's take a little bit of a closer look at them. They are, I'm not quite sure the exact material, but if you listen to it, it's not glass, it's kind of like a plastic kind of material. So they're very lightweight. They attach to the Basecamp via these small screws. They're actually not full-on screws. Let me correct myself there. They're almost like a, I don't know, a little latch. So you just turn it and they pop open, and then you turn it to lock. They are kind of a pain to open and close. The only reason you'll ever really need to open and close them is to clean behind them. It's not a full seal, so you will get rain and dirt between the window guards and your inside windows. Let's talk about the pros and cons of the solar window guards. When I first got them installed, I was actually kind of surprised and slightly disappointed, but then after a while I got used to it and I really do prefer them. So first, what are the pros? Of course, window protection, so you don't have to worry about rocks smashing your windows, and then also reducing the amount of heat that goes into the base camp. So they do filter a good amount of light compared to not having the window guards on there. So you'll kind of see before I had the window guards, it was really bright and sunny in the base camp, but that meant in the summer, the heat from the sun coming through was pretty intense. And a lot of the times I had to have the black window shades on the base camp zipped up during the summer to keep the heat out and keep it cool and comfortable inside for us, which kind of kills your view when you have to have that closed. So with the window guards, it does filter some light. It is a little bit darker inside. That was huge for me to get used to because I had the base camp without the window guards before. So for me, I could tell the difference and it took a little adjusting. But then once I started using these in the summer, I could leave my windows open, not have to close those shades, and keep the view all day long. That was huge to me. So in the end, I actually do like having the window guards. The other big difference is in order to support the window guards, you have to put on a new door stop. So you'll see here, I still have the old door stop, and then there is a newer one here as well. So the big difference here is by having that door stop, it prevents the door from hitting the window guard. However, it also makes it so the door doesn't open flat against the base camp. So you'll see how it sticks out a little bit. Before I had the window guards on, this actually slid right across and fit against the base camp. The big differences there are wind. So the wind coming through, if you have any wind this way, it's gonna grab this door and it's gonna rattle. So it does get pretty annoying if there's a good amount of wind. The other big difference is that since the door doesn't close against the side, you don't have as wide of a view from inside. Where that becomes critical is when I'm trying to keep an eye on Napoleon and Jasper. Looking out, I can only see about 120 degrees worth of view. Before I had 180. So it does limit that viewing a little bit, and it's something to get used to. So in the end, I love the window guards. I love the peace of mind towing that they give me. The door still annoys me a little bit. But in order to have the window guards, you have to have the door this way. And I feel that the pros definitely outweigh the negatives on that. The other difference with the front window guard is this piece of metal right here in the center. That is a support piece that prevents that front window from really flapping too much in the wind while you're driving. Since I went from the base model up to having the window guards, I did notice it for probably a month or two, and then you get used to it and you don't even think about it anymore. The other thing is you might notice my windows are pretty dirty. In the year that I've had these window guards, I have only cleaned my windows once, and that's just because it is a bit of a pain to get those window guards open and to clean them. So, kind of pros, cons. You gotta clean your windows once in a while, but I'm a little bit too lazy to do it. So they're not too bad. You do need a ladder to do it, and getting those latches in sometimes can be really finicky. So just keep that in mind. But overall, I still would recommend the window guards. Still lacking oxygen. All right, and then the other big item that the X package is known for is the 3-inch lift. You're not really gonna be able to tell that it has a 3-inch lift, so I'll show you some before and after photos. But having the 3-inch lift, it doesn't actually really raise the axle, but it raises your tanks. So if you look at your tanks under here, they are in insulated metal boxes. But as you're driving, taking the base camp off-road, you don't want any rocks or anything to hit that. You could cause some serious damage. So by having a 3-inch lift, it just adds a little bit of extra peace of mind. With that said, do you need the 3-inch lift? It's kind of really up to you and what kind of camping you're going to do. We do a lot of boondocking. I spent the summer out here in Colorado and spent a lot of time going up and down mountain roads with the base camp, checking out a lot of different boondocking spots. There was only one time where that 3-inch lift really was needed. It was on a bumpy, dirty road down along the San Juan River. There were huge potholes that you had to go in and out of, and at one point the base camp was on edge with one of the potholes, and if I didn't have that 3-inch lift, I'm pretty sure the tanks would have scraped. Other than that, I could have gotten through really everything that I've been at with the regular base camp. This rear departure angle that comes standard really helps, and that's the biggest help when you're going off-road with the base camp. With that said, being alone for most of my camping trips, having that 3-inch lift on there just gives me a little extra wiggle room and a little extra peace of mind. So I don't worry anywhere near as much about going down those dirt roads alone, and I'm not jumping out of the truck as much to check, make sure I'm clearing things. So I personally love having the 3-inch lift. It's really up to you and how you're gonna camp if it is worth putting that on. A couple things to keep in mind if you are gonna put on that 3-inch lift. So your rear stabilizer jacks, if I can move out of the way here so you can see them, those rear stabilizer jacks that come on the base model are not long enough to reach the ground, so you will need to upgrade them. These are the new upgraded version. They are a little heavier duty. Honestly, I haven't noticed if they make any difference in terms of stability or not. They do require a different socket, so if you use a drill to bring them up and down, you can use a socket to bring them up and down as well. But just remember to get those extra long rear stabilizer jacks. The other thing is your front jack as well. You'll need to get a longer bottom piece. I have a fastaway flip, so it is the longer portion and then it flips up as you're pulling up the jack. But I'm not 100% sold on it yet. I am not at the point of being able to recommend it. It doesn't feel the most stable at times. It is easy to bring up and down, but I'm not sure on the stability. So jury is still out on that one, and I will let you know on that one in the future. All right, and now Jasper is going to help me show you, or block me from showing you, the next item of the X upgrade package, and that is new tires. So these are Goodyear Wrangler tires. They're also an updated wheel, so they're a darker color wheel, a little bit fancier looking. They are a slightly different size, so the wheel and tire size is different, but the overall size of the tire combination is about the same as what was on there before. I've received mixed feedback from dealers as to whether or not you can have the old tire set on with the X package and the lift. So I did go ahead and upgrade since I wasn't really sure, and the Goodyear Wranglers are really good tires. But I would definitely recommend, if you're trying to save some money, look into that and see if it is something where you can keep your old tires, because the prior Basecamp tires are really good. So even on the base model, you have a good tire package option. All right, and finally, when you get the Basecamp X package added to your Basecamp, you get a new badge. So now it is officially a Basecamp X. Even though I don't have the front stainless guards, I do have everything else that comes with the X package. So hopefully this video helped you guys. If you are interested in some of these options, give your local dealer a call. Every dealer prices it slightly differently. So give a call around, see what kind of deals you can get. The other thing to keep in mind is the front window guards are the only item that is truly custom to the Basecamp. You're not gonna be able to get those anywhere else. Same with the stainless guards. I always forget those since I don't have them, but those front items you really have to go to Airstream for. However, the 3-inch lift, the wheels, the tires, those are all third-party items. So if you want and you have a place that you can trust, you might be able to get the lift, the wheels, tires, everything like that from somebody else. Also, the front jack and those rear stabilizer jacks, again, you can put those on yourself or you can have somebody else do it for you. So if you aren't near a dealer or you want to shop around for prices, keep that in mind and see what you can find. All right, and that is it, everybody. That is the difference between the Basecamp and the X package. So if you still have questions, if there's something that I missed, feel free to comment below and I will respond to you and try to answer any outstanding questions that you have. Sorry, I've been huffing and puffing throughout this video. The elevation is definitely getting to me, but hopefully it wasn't too much of a distraction for you. So thank you again, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you next time. What are you whining about? Why? Sit.